let's now get to know you a little bit. So, who is Mark Smith? Tell us the full story. And you've got 15 seconds to say. So, where did you grow up, and how did you? I'm not interested in the bio part usually. I'm always curious about your what you used to do as a kid that either resembled or started what you do today. Where did the interest come from?
Okay, so I remember being gosh, I don't even know, let's say 12-year-old kid. My dad said, hey, I want to earn some extra money. Okay, great. Well, I need the eaves of the house painted. It's in California, and I'm like, all right, I could do that for $1.75 an hour. So you can tell how old I am. And I'm up there. It's a hot summer day, and I'm trying to get done as quickly as I can. And I remember coming in, 2, 3 in the afternoon. I finished, and I wanted to look at it, and I'm sweating like crazy. And he's inside. He's got his yellow pad. My dad was an electrical engineer, and he's drawing squiggles and formulas and stuff on a piece of paper. And I'm going, I'm out there sweating like crazy for $1.75, and you're inside here just squiggling on paper, and I know you're making a whole lot more money than I am. And he said, Mark, it's because I'm not paying you to do differential equations. Now, a lot of things happen. One, I had no idea what a differential equation was, but all I knew was that moment changed my life. I do not want to work outside in the hot sun. I want to be inside figuring out, solving problems for people. Okay. And so it actually, that whole thing, I would go back to that all the time and say, okay, what can I do? And I became a programmer pretty early on, learning how to do all this stuff, software developer, to work inside and air conditioning, and just solve these kind of problems. So for me, and the bigger problems I could solve, the more money I would make. Pretty simple. And that's true in any entrepreneurial journey. And it's certainly true of this today. You get in there, and if you can meet with someone and say, hey, what's keeping you up at night? How do you actually do what you do? And you listen for where the problems are. And if you can solve those kind of things, and that's how we built our business, is solving those problems for people, really digging in there and rolling up our sleeves and figuring them out. And that's what this podcast is all about. It's about solving problems for the traders, for the producers, for all the people in the ecosystem, insurance, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I mean, there is another thing about solving problems and solving especially bigger problems. Those have less competition because they are difficult to solve. You end up with less people competing in that same space. So focusing on problems, the big problems, they not only reward you much, much more handsomely, but also there's less competition that you have to deal with. Do you find that also in your space?
Yeah, it happened from the very beginning. I remember our first client, PDC Energy. They didn't tell us all at first what the main problem, but they said, hey, can you solve this? We need to do tank level monitoring. So we figured that out and showed them proof of concept. And they said, all right, we have this vision for a suite of computer vision models. And, it had gas leak and liquid leak and fire and smoke and PB, all these things. I said, what is it ultimately you're trying to do? Well, if we had this suite, we wouldn't need to hire night operators or gate operators. And in fact, our people wouldn't even need to go out to the site as much, because the biggest danger in oil and gas, surprisingly, not something blowing up. It's actually truck accidents going to and from these remote sites. That's it. So the less people I put on the road, the safer it is for them, and the less things when they're on site needing to go up and crawl up on really dangerous areas, the safer it is. So really, they were driven by safety. They were driven. And so we had developed this suite, and all of our competitors were doing point solutions. It's the same thing back in the day when, if you can remember, there was a couple of spreadsheets, Lotus 123, Microsoft Excel, and people would say, oh, I need a spreadsheet thing. But Microsoft didn't sell you Excel. What did they sell you? They sold you Office 365. So they changed the things that, you don't need a spreadsheet. You need office productivity. You need this whole suite. So we thought that's exactly what we're going to do. So our suite, in fact, is called Autonomous 365. We sell a suite. Our competitors sell a point solution.